Hello BookTube. Today I have the continuation of my 2024 library tour. This video and the next one will feature one of the two wall shelves that I have here in my little book room, also known as my bedroom. The other one is up here. Now, for this library tour, I was hoping to be able to do all of the videos on location. However, with the this particular wall shelf, which is up here, I will not be able to do that. I have no place to place the computer to comfortably film. So I'm going to have to pull the books down and do it this way. So anyway, so this part of the wall shelf comprises my genre fiction that is not science fiction or fantasy. And so I'm going to call this video The Queen of Crime, because pretty much all of the books are Agatha Christie. So I first got into Agatha Christie back when I was about 12, when I sort of my detective fiction period. And for that period, which was about 3 or 4 years long, I acquired a small collection of Agatha Christie's novels. I don't have any of them anymore. I have since, over the last 10 years or so, picked up a number of omnibus editions of her work. So let's get going. So first up is Agatha Christie's Detectives, which includes Murder at the Vicarage, which is the Miss Marple novel, the first one, Dead Man's Folly and Sad Cypress, which are both Hercule Poirot mysteries, Towards Zero, which is, I think, one of her one-shot detectives, and NRM, which I think is a Tommy and Tuppence mystery. I have read Murder at the Vicarage and Dead Man's Folly. I don't think I've ever read Sad Cypress, and I know for sure I haven't read Towards Zero or NRM. Next up is Agatha Christie, 5 complete novels of murder and detection. So most of these are from Avenel. So this one includes 10 Little Indians, which has gone through a number of name changes. It's most commonly known as And Then There Were None, which is one of her one-shot mysteries and is probably one of her greatest. I have read it. I've also read, and I don't particularly care for, Peril at End House. The Murder at Hazelmoor I've never read. Easy to Kill I've never read, and Evil Under the Sun I have read and I quite enjoy. So Peril at End House and Evil Under the Sun are also Hercule Poirot. I don't know about Murder at Hazelmoor or Easy to Kill. Speaking of Poirot, this is 5 complete Hercule Poirot novels. It includes Murder on the Orient Express, which I have read, 13 at Dinner, I haven't read, The ABC Murders, I haven't read, Cards on the Table, I haven't read, and Death on the Nile, which I have read and is one of my favorites. The next batch are Miss Marple's. Of all of Christie's work, Miss Marple is my favorite. This is a very beat up 3-in-1 that includes Murder is Announced, The Body in the Library, and Murder with Mirrors, all of which I have read and quite enjoyed, except for Murder with Mirrors. But anyway, next up includes Miss Marple. So this one is Miss Marple Meets Murder, which includes The Mirror Cracked, which I have read, A Pocket Full of Rye, which I have read, At Bertram's Hotel, which I have read, and The Moving Finger, which I have read. I've actually read all of the Miss Marple mysteries, although I haven't owned all of them. Next up is 5 complete Miss Marple novels, The Mirror Cracked, A Caribbean Mystery, Nemesis, what Mrs. McGillicuddy saw, which is also titled 450 at Paddington. A lot of Agatha Christie's work is does sometimes get retitled. And finally, The Body in the Library in this one. And this is Agatha Christie 5 Classic Murder Mysteries, which includes The Murder of Roger Ackroyd, which I have read, The Secret Adversary, The Boomerang Clue, The Moving Finger, and Death Comes as Seen, which I have read and is one of her standalones. It's actually a historical mystery set in ancient Egypt. I don't remember it all that fondly, though. And the next batch of the omnibuses is Murderers Abroad. They came to Baghdad, Murder in Mesopotamia, The Mystery of the Blue Train, Passenger to Frankfurt, and So Many Steps to Death, which I think is one of the ones that was retitled. So I know Murder of Mesopotamia and The Mystery of the Blue Train are Hercule Poirot. I don't know about They Came to Baghdad. And I know Passenger to Frankfurt is a thriller, which isn't very good. So there's that. And I have two Agatha Christie's in mass market paperback. A Sleeping Martyr, which is the last Miss Marple mystery, although not the last one written. Now it's actually Nemesis. This Sleeping Martyr was one of two mysteries that were vaulted and were published after Christie's death. Let me get this. Maybe I shouldn't have done that. And Hickory Dickory Dock, which is an Hercule Poirot mystery, which is one of my sentimental favorites. It's not necessarily one of her best because it's the 50s were not necessarily Christie's strongest writing period, except for Miss Marple. This is Watership Down by Richard Adams. I picked this up from Friends at the Library Soul Nook at the West Waco Library and Genealogy Center in Waco. And also The Iron King by Maurice Drouin, which is a historical novel that apparently inspired A Song of Ice and Fire. I've had this for a few years now, and I really should get to it. So that was the second part of my library tour, which is mostly Agatha Christie. So about Agatha Christie, so I've talked about my sort of detective fiction or mystery fiction period, which lasted from about 12 to, well, maybe 11 to 15, 16. And from there, I really lost interest in detective fiction, even Agatha Christie, for probably about 15 years. During that period, I did read some detective fiction, but not a whole lot. And a lot of it didn't really do anything for me, even Agatha Christie. And it was about 10 years ago that I rediscovered my love of Agatha Christie's work. But about 2 years ago, that also sort of started to decline, and I haven't really been all that interested. So I have been thinking about getting rid of these omnibuses and replacing them with mass market copies to go in the headboard bookcase once the history books that are currently there get moved to the hoped for bookcases that come behind me. But I don't know if that's going to happen because I don't know if I really want to actually collect the mass market paperbacks to go in the lower shelf. So anyway, something I'll need to think about. Anyway, BookTube, I need to put these books back where they belong. and I'll try to be back with another video real soon. So until then, thank you, BookTube. Have a great afternoon and stay safe.